Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Katie Maike. I'm a psychic medium. I'm also an intuitive life coach. I have a master's in sports psychology, another in behavioral analysis. And today I am here to do some live readings for you. It's 11:22. So happy to be here and happy to see you guys. I kind of want to know what you're up to. What does 11:22 mean to you? I met my husband on 11:22, so it's an awesome day for me, and I'm doing $11 readings for you live. I know it's kind of early, but I thought I would catch some early birds. I did want to talk a little bit about the Body Health Oracle deck that I'm going to be using today. I just dropped a bunch of cards on the floor, so let me grab those. I see some of you guys coming in right now. Hello. Let me know where you're from. I am from Southwest Florida. I'm currently traveling the U.S. with my family, and we are up north in some really cold weather. So I want to know where you guys are from. What's the weather like? Make me jealous because I kind of wish I was back in Florida. I don't know if my circulation likes this cold weather. Hi guys, welcome in. It's nice to be here. It's nice to see you. I'm going to do some readings for you today. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I've created this deck called the Body Health Oracle deck. I do a lot of medical and health scans for people, and oh, hello from Florida. You guys are from Florida too. How is the weather? I was from the North Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel Island area, and it got hit with Hurricane Ian. So we were actually about to go back to Florida during that time, and we couldn't. So we had to head in the opposite direction. Luckily, we sold everything and got everything out of there before the storm hit. So you're from Fort Myers area. How are you? How was the damage? It's getting better. I know it's getting better. I'm glad I wasn't there because all we had at the time was a camper. We had just moved everything out. So West Virginia, hello. How are you guys? We are going to do some readings today. I would love to do some readings and connect with you. Say hi in the comments. Tell me where you are from. It's such a beautiful day, looking out the window, but it's freezing. You're okay. It's still a mess in the area. I bet it's still a mess. Holy moly. I am starting to see some pictures of people that are getting to go back out onto Sanibel Island, and I can't even imagine the amount of shells that are out there. Sarasota, hello. So many people from Florida. Hi from Oregon. Hello. I bet it's going to be a mess for a while. Yep. Hi from Ireland. Oh, your sister passed away today. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, your sister-in-law just passed away. I'm so sorry to hear that. My condolences. All right, guys. So today, I came on. Wow, you guys are already liking the screen. Thank you so much. So if you follow my page, I do a lot of missing persons cases online, and I do that because I do them for free. I do a lot of them in my DMs and stuff like that too, but that's not all that I do. I kind of started my journey as I'll say a medical health scan psychic medium, and the reason that I started my journey that way is because I ended up accidentally helping someone figure out they had breast cancer and colon cancer. And it came to me in a vision, and after that happened and I realized how accurate my messages were, I decided to go public, and I've been working for the past 3 years publicly as a psychic medium, and that's just to help others. But I did start my journey off in sports psychology, and that's where I studied imagery and visualization techniques, and with that I created this deck. So I do have some readings that I'm going to do for you guys today. If anyone's interested, I have $11 readings, and the readings will be done live for you here. If you head to the link in my bio, just by clicking up here, head to the link in my bio. Hello, welcome in, guys. Welcome. Hello, it's Tuesday, right? Tuesday. We have 2 days till Thanksgiving. I actually have a Kickstarter that's launching on Thanksgiving Day. You've been thinking about getting your doctorate in it. Awesome. I went to I used Capella University And that was in 2008, 2010. So I got my first master's from there, and then I went back and got a second master's in applied behavioral analysis. So I'll tell you guys, hi guys, how are you? I loved online school compared to going to school in person, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like when you're with all these other kids and students and you're being given assignments and you come back, I feel like it's very easily gets overlooked. But when you're online, it's like you have to teach yourself. So it was more of my own personal responsibility of like learning the material and things like that. And I mean, I've been an athlete my whole life. I just didn't realize that what I was studying, imagery, visualization techniques, was actually going to help me in the future. Because as a psychic medium, I know that having this bank of images or understanding of certain things can help you broaden your reading types. For example, his name is escaping me, but he's a very well-known psychic that worked for the military, and he would find bombs that were buried underground, and he would do this by receiving coordinates. And because he understood coordinates, he could receive psychic information in the form of coordinates. So that's kind of what I've been working on lately. Not the coordinates, but I've been working on a deck to help you connect your mind, body, and spirit a little bit more, to help people give more accurate and confident health scans. And there's also some amazing messages on here. So let's see. You did your master's online? That's awesome. I think, honestly, school in general, you know, if anybody has the discipline, you can learn anything. And we know nowadays, like, honestly, like having the degrees are a dime a dozen, it seems like. There's so many people. So, all right, guys. So what we're going to do today, because it's 11/11, I'm doing $11 readings. So I would love to do a reading for you. The readings today, like I said, if you head to the link in my bio and you'll click on the snipfeed.co Katie Maike, and that'll take you right to the $11 reading. You'll also see the Body Health Oracle Kickstarter campaign. It starts on Thanksgiving Day. If you just want to follow that on Kickstarter, I would just love and appreciate the follow. Because I started the account with 0 followers, and I really want the campaign to go through. It's about 30 days. So I actually have some readings coming in right now. So what happens during my live events is when the readings come through on Snipfeed, I go to the reading and I record the reading on here and I record it on my tablet. And then you'll get the recording sent to your email within 48 hours. Okay, so if you're not here, you just want to put in the $11 reading because it's only going until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to put that reading in, you got to go. You will get your reading back within 48 hours sent to your email. Okay? So if you have specific questions, please head to the link in my bio. Oh, look, it's 1.1 thousand likes. So that's $11 readings today. All right, guys. Okay, so let's chat, let's hang out. But I do have a reading that's in here for, that's in here for Kendra. So I'm going to go ahead and give the reading to Kendra, record it, and then I will be right back. So go ahead and hang out and talk. And then if anybody would like a reading, this might be a good time to head to the link in my bio and go grab one, okay? Thank you, Brandy. How are you? It's so nice to see you. Oh my God, Brandy. Brandy and I go way back. Girl, how are you? It's so crazy. I was on my website, intuitioncc.com, and I was going through like my contacts, and you're the only one on there that says moderator. And I was like, I miss Brandy. I wonder what she's doing. Because the last time we talked, you had this huge move. You were on this huge move. And, we were just missing each other a lot. So I'm going to go in here. I have a reading from Kendra, and then I'll have another reading coming through. All right, guys. So thank you so much for being here. And if you just want to hang out, I would love for you to hang out and listen to the readings. If you want to go and check out my Kickstarter while I do some readings, go do that, come back. I'll be here for a couple hours, at least until I don't get super, super hungry, because I am 29 weeks pregnant, and I might need to stop for a snack or a bathroom break, but that's about it. Okay? Okay. So we're starting with Kendra. Okay, Kendra, general reading is fine. Okay, so we're going to do a general reading for Kendra. Normally, if someone says a general reading, I allow an image or visuals to come through, and then do I do yes or no? Yeah, I do yes or no, but there's always a little bit more. There's always a little bit more to yes or no's. So it's $11 readings. Ask what you can. It's a 1 to 2 minute response. I talk pretty fast, so you'll probably get a lot of information out of it. Okay, so thank you so much for being here and moderating for me, Brandy. Like, oh my god, it's so nice to see you. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. Hi, Kendra. Thank you so much for booking during my live event on 11/22. So you have a general reading, and actually what's coming through is there's a male. I feel like there's a male in your life, and there's a lot of arguing that might be going on. Okay, and I feel like there's I feel like someone's wearing rose-colored glasses here. And someone isn't really seeing, I don't feel like you're really seeing that you aren't being allowed to be yourself. Like, there's a lot of focus on the arguing or fixing the arguing. And we have a card flew out for you. Kidneys, look at this. Kidneys, cleanse, look at this. Okay, so you definitely need some type of cleanse from this person. I would even say, look, it says it's time to remove any negative objects or emotions or people in your life. If this is not a sign, girl, I don't know what is. But there is some need for you to back away from this person. I really feel like they are consuming you. Okay? I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you so much for booking. All right, guys. All right, thank you so much, Kendra. So I'm going to head over to my next reading here. Awesome. Diana. Okay. Hi, Diana. I have your reading if you're here. Okay, so how are things going to go with your marriage? Okay, so I'll take this card in a second. We'll see what this card says because it flew out. Okay? Right when I asked the question, but I wasn't recording yet, so I'm going to record it right now. And I'm going to write your name down. Because I didn't write the last one. Okay, here we go. Hi, Diana. Thank you so much for booking this reading with me during my live event on TikTok. It's 11/22, an amazing, energetic day, and you want to know how your marriage is going to go moving forward. Okay, so let me just sit really quickly in the energy of this. Okay, so I hear the word complications, and my heart kind of sinks, but I feel like the sinking of the heart is something you've felt before. I feel like there is a knowing or a realization or something that is come across your mind. And I do feel like there is an awareness, like you do have an awareness. I don't know if you're coming here for some type of confirmation, but I do feel, hi Diana, I do feel like there is some type of awareness about a red flag or something. And I don't know if this is, I'm not saying that there needs to be like a breakup, but what I feel is that, there's something about your idea of marriage or your role in the marriage that is kind of consuming you. So you have bladder, let it go. Okay. It says you've accumulated a lot of excess waste. It's time to make room for the new and release the old. I'm not necessarily sure. I feel like this is towards like your spouse, but what I do feel like is there are other things that are going on, and it's not the focus of the marriage, but it's it kind of feels like it's all wrapped up into one. And I feel like there are some things that you need to realize are draining you maybe, or are consuming you, that is not directly related to the marriage. Okay. And there is some insight. I feel like maybe you know that there needs the marriage needs some more communication, because I feel like there's a lot of deflecting and focus on other things that aren't really mattering right now. And I'm not sure if that's just like your partner may not know how to communicate that with you or not, but I don't feel like it's a necessary, like, we need to split ways. I just feel like there's a lot of other things that are clogging, like, this relationship, if that makes sense to you. Okay, that's all the time we have for now. Thank you so much for booking. Wow, your message was 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Diana, I hope that message resonated with you. It did feel like I couldn't even focus on the relationship. Like, when I would jump into your energy, it just felt like there were other issues that are being brought into, like, things that don't matter. It almost felt like a little argument about something that didn't matter. And all those tiny things that accumulate, and then you look back and you're like, why can't we converse or talk about this? And I feel like there's some other things that just need to be dealt with that don't have anything to do with the relationship. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Yes. Tap, tap, tap. Go ahead and share this live. If you just joined, my name is Katie Maike. I'm a psychic medium. I'm also an intuitive life coach, and I am recently a deck creator and designer. I've kind of been a little absent from TikTok over the summer while I've been traveling with my family. For those of you who don't know, I found out I was pregnant like the week before we left for a trip. And I know I have another person sitting in queue here, so we'll go there, but so everything changed. Everything changed for me. And I started to create my own oracle decks and tarot decks. I probably have had 4 or 5 of them printed, but what I've been doing is like replacing those decks that I've made personally for me because I needed different tools. I felt like I needed different tools from the decks that I was using, whether it was a past life deck. I went and created my own past life deck based on past life readings I've done personally. So I've been working on that, and actually on Thanksgiving Day, from Thanksgiving Day until Christmas Eve, I am releasing the very first deck I ever completed called the Body Health Oracle deck. And you just saw it. It's based on 66 organs and systems within the body. And you can use this card 3 different ways. So you'll see it does have a word for the organ if you're doing health scans, readings like that. It also has like a divine, basically a trigger word, I would call it, that's related to the function of the organ or system. And then there is a divine oracle message within there that is kind of trying to, I would say, balance out the mind, body, spiritual type of connection, because like we are all connected as one. I feel like sometimes our mind might move in a separate direction from our body, and bringing that connection back into balance is really how we like live in a very happy place. Okay, so let me jump back on here because I do have another reading for Katie. Katie, are you in here? All right, let's see. So Katie wants to know if she's on the right path spiritually, okay? I don't know why I felt drawn to grab my tarot deck, but since I did, I'm going to use it really quickly. Okay. Oh, there you are, Queenie. All right. Hi, Katie. Thank you so much for booking this reading with me during my live event on TikTok. It's 11:22. And you want to know if you are on the right path. Okay. So I feel sadness, and I feel like this might be a metaphor, but I feel sadness, I feel crying, and there's like this reaching back for a person that I feel like you had to leave behind, okay? And I do feel like this is confirmation about you. I don't know if you're like finally sticking to your boundaries or what it is, or maybe you have to leave this person behind and you're trying to figure out if you need to. I feel like there is a confirmation of you leaving a person behind, or somebody that isn't good for you, or someone that maybe you have recently recognized as their energy is not for your highest good. Okay, their energy is not going to support your mission in life, whatever that is to you. Now, I feel like I also have to say, this card's like, pull me out. Letting go of things that are no longer serving you is going to be huge. And now I'm also getting this message like your guides are like, all she needs to know is if she's on the right path. And I feel like I have to say, as long as you are living for your own happiness, and instead of living for other people's happiness, then you are following the right path. Okay, so as long as you're not making decisions based on the wants and the needs of other people, and you're doing it based on what you want for your personal happiness, that is showing me that you are on the right path. Okay, so thank you so much for booking. I really hope this helps you. All right. All right, guys, I am back. How are you? How are you guys? Hi, Christine. Hi, love. Okay, you are so welcome. Hi, Brandy. Brandy's back. Okay, great. Okay, I gotta shut this off here so I don't accidentally start recording. All right, guys, so when readings come through, I will make sure to get your reading done right away. We have Michelle's next. All right. Just going to write your name down, Michelle. And then we have Courtney. So, Courtney, are you here? There you are, Courtney. All right, guys. Awesome. So we had Diana, and then we had Katie. Okay, Michelle, here we go, guys. Michelle. Okay, so you kind of want me to focus on your middle child, right? But you want to, this is for Michelle, you want like a general reading, but want me to focus on your middle child and want to know if they're going to be okay. I'm getting that it has this is more of like an energetic thing. I don't feel like it's a physical issue. If is that correct? I just want to make sure, because if you're asking me to do a medical scan, I want to make sure that my intent is of that. Okay, but I do feel like it's drama stuff. Okay? Yes. Okay, great. All right. But I will focus on that too, okay? All right. Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for booking this reading with me on 11/22 during my live. I have you right here as well. So we want a general reading, and we also want to know about your middle child's. Okay, first of all, I guess I'm just going to talk about the middle child because it's coming through. There's a lot of anxiety. I feel like anxiety, and I'm feeling like anxiety about a situation, and I don't know if this is friends involved, but like I feel like I'm thinking about a situation that's already bringing me anxiety before I even get there. Okay? So what's coming through is coping, the word's coping, and I feel like there is a need for this child to understand ways of coping, because if they're not presented to the child in a way that feels relaxing or that it works, I feel like the child is going to be looking for different ways of coping, whether it's a solitude or whether it's an acting out. I don't feel like the child is at that place right now, but what I'm getting is that inputting some type of coping behavior or that is healthy in this moment of that child's life is crucial. It's very important. And whether this is like some type of meditative or not, but what I'm getting is like making sure it works, like making sure it's calm, making sure it works. I keep getting it over in my head, and I feel like the reason is because if it's not paid attention to, then your child is going to be looking a different way, like looking for their own way of coping. And that may not be the healthiest way. Okay? I'm still going to pull a card here because So the skills, okay, I'm getting a lot of stress. Ace of Swords in reverse. A lot of stress, a lot of confusion. So it could be there's a lot of emotions that are also going on that may not be understood. Okay, and that's also what I'm picking up, a lot of confusion, and that's why I don't know which direction to go as this child, and I need some guidance, and it's directly related to my emotions and feeling calm, okay? Feeling like I have control over something, and it needs to be done in a healthier way, or it needs to be presented in a way that I guess would be healthy for the child moving forward. It may even be strategic moving forward, like what I'm getting is like cooking or something that is still going to, like, you know, you're learning skills, but it's also teaching you, you know, to maybe be calm in that moment, or painting or something like that. Okay. Thank you so much for booking. I hope this helps you. All right, Michelle. Makes sense. Good. Okay. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Thanks for being here. Okay. Awesome. Sorry, I don't know like the whole situation with your child, but I do know that that was very important for you to be implementing some type of skills right now. Skills that can either, you know, can be taken into the lifetime, if that makes sense, into adulthood. So maybe thinking about what adults would do in this situation, and then like making it kid friendly. I'm not exactly sure how old your child is, but it does feel like it's at the age where, you know, drama can really affect the child's self-esteem. Okay? All right. But thank you so much for booking, Michelle. Okay. 19. Okay. Yep. There's, that's probably why I keep getting like skills to take into adulthood, because she's at that age where like, okay, if I go off on my own, what have I learned, or what do I need to teach myself is kind of how I feel. All right. Okay. So anybody who's booking today on 11/22, you'll get your reading for $11. It will be uploaded probably, I'm doing the readings live, so I just have to sit and upload them probably within the next 24 hours. So just remember the email that you used on SnipFeed, and that is where your reading will go. That's where the notification will go when it's uploaded, and that's also how you can get back into SnipFeed if you like didn't make an account, which not many people do, but you can get back in with the email that you used, okay? So I have Courtney here. Courtney, are you here? You're welcome, Michelle. Okay, so Courtney needs some messages from her guides, some healing messages. Courtney, hi, love. How are you? All right, we got this. I'm gonna grab my deck here. This is the Body Health Oracle deck. It has divine oracle messages here, and I created this deck. If you see the yellow on the bottom, there's some trigger words, like this says flow or interaction. And when you do 3-card readings or 3-card spreads with this is when you would kind of use the bottom phrases to spark your psychic, intuitive messages from guides and whatnot. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, I think I have this deck all over my Instagram. It's all over my TikTok. It starts in 2 days. 2 days, guys. All right, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Okay, here we go. So this is Courtney. This is messages from her guides. And I stopped on the medium part. And this is like really enticing to me. I'm going to leave this out and still go here. Okay? Hi, Courtney. Thank you so much for booking this reading with me. So you need some general guidance from your guides, something about healing. Okay, so actually what I'm picking up on right now is I'm getting this kind of plot, this story plot. I'm clairvoyant, so I get messages as like Pictionary, okay? And I feel like as a child you had a lot of insight. Like I'm seeing a conversation with an adult. It might be your mother, it might be your grandmother, but this person feels very like they're a non-believer. It feels like you may have had some insight or something and they really put you down for it. It feels like this person has a lot of anger and a lot of resentment that's held themselves against their own mother. Okay, so I don't know who this woman is, but she's definitely older. Like I see you as a small child, 4 or 5 years old. And you have some insight and it feels magical to you. It feels like, I don't know if it's like imaginary friend type or like you just say something and it shocks this person. And I feel like you're very much so put down from it. Okay. There is this not trusting your own voice that kind of, I don't know if it's a lack of a voice, but I feel like it stems from not trusting it because it's been put down in the past. And I feel like that is being brought into your adulthood. This medium says, embrace the in-between. Your abilities are at a heightened state of intuition, so trust it. the healing I feel like that you're doing is to go back and trusting your own visions, your own intuition. It's trusting your own words. It's trusting your own thoughts. Okay, because I do feel like why I was shown that, it's because there was a period where you were shut down from believing and trusting your own intuition. And I feel like the healing is going to come from seeing that this person that placed this kind of like non-validation on you was someone that was going through a lot and someone that was projecting a lot of their own fears and traumas onto you. It wasn't you. So I feel like you need to go back and kind of like let those layers go, release those kind of like barriers that you put up so you wouldn't get hurt again, you know? And I do feel like that is going to lead you to a lot more clarity, so much more clarity in understanding how your intuition is coming through, because I feel like you've had this since you were a child, but you definitely blocked it out really early, okay? Thank you so much for booking. All right. Hi, guys. How are you? Let's get some more people in here. Woo, let's get some people talking in here. Throwing some cards out. All right, so, you know, I've overcome so much in the past summer, I feel like. I went from someone, like I always had these ideas to create my own decks, and I didn't know how to do it. Had no idea how to do it. You know, you go and you Google YouTube videos, but I feel like nobody ever truly gave me, like, this is exactly how I did it, and this was the easiest way for me. So, let me tell you, if you guys have an idea, if you... Courtney says, I'm not sure. You know, a lot of us block things out. A lot of us, when we're children and we are presented with a situation that makes sense to us in our mind, but in our reality, it doesn't make sense because everybody else is doing something completely different or say something completely different. Excuse me, it's like you believing in unicorns and then everybody puts you down for believing in it. You eventually will create a defense over that thought so that you can survive without feeling like an outcast in that family. Okay? And we develop coping and defense mechanisms, coping behaviors, defense mechanisms in order to survive in situations. And when I say survive, it literally means survive, mentally surviving. It could be physically surviving, especially if you lived in a household with parents who didn't get along, who fought a lot, a parent who had a lot of generational trauma, a parent who was a narcissist, and you had to find a way to survive. And there's different ways of coping, and some people... some kids can be the good child and they can do everything that is expected of them in order to gain praise because that feels good, where maybe they were put down for other things before. So, okay, well, I found something I get praised for. Let me do this over and over and over again. And, so even a child who says they had the best childhood, and, they could have been hiding and suppressing memories that made their childhood less amazing. Because we all want to believe that our life was normal. We all want to believe that, what we went through wasn't as hard as what somebody else went through. But in reality, when we say that, we're putting our own feelings last. We're putting ourselves, we're saying that our feelings and our issues and me in general or us in general, we are not as important as the next person. And that's not true. We may have grown up that way, right? Like, especially like females being told to share, be kind, be nice, give a hug. Oh, she's crying. Oh, go give her a hug. It's this thing of like us always having to take care, and be the ones to, mother at a young age. It could be that you were the oldest child and you felt this need to take care of your younger siblings. I mean, that could have been placed on you whether you realize it or not, and it's simple kind of programming that happens. Like I said, I have my second master's in behavioral analysis. And what I've learned is just like humans, we're just like dogs in a way that can be trained, behaviorally trained. And behavioral analysis does not take into account any developmental or cognitive psychology. So what this is saying is, yeah, we can be trained very easily, But that training doesn't mean that we aren't going to be mentally affected by it. We will very much so be mentally affected by it, but it may not be talked about. It may not be socially acceptable. So we suppress it and we hide it because it's easier, you know? All right. Let me see what's going on. All right. All right, guys, so what's going on? What are we talking about today? Let me tell you, I think I was talking about like having and creating your own deck or having ideas. If anybody has Canva or you like to work on Canva or you have a program or you have like a premium membership on Canva, I would highly recommend using it as like they're going to give you so many formats to use. And that's where I basically built my decks. I'll show you. So I created a learning tarot deck. All right. Hello. Good morning. Welcome everyone. I created a learning tarot deck and it's called Llama Tarot. Okay. And it's basically for, I created it like in a childlike way for people who are learning to use tarot, because when I started using tarot cards, I started as a psychic. I got visions, very, very vivid visions of things. And when I started using tarot, I had no idea, like I couldn't memorize 78 cards. I would have cheat sheets and stuff up on my wall. And what I started to do is like, why do I even need these cheat sheets? Like, why can't I just write on my own cards? But I could never find a deck that had enough white space or enough space for me to make my cards originally me, what the cards meant to me, what words stood out to me. So I created this deck. And my sister-in-law actually helped me. She made all the images for the major arcana cards. Okay, and you can see the lines in the white spaces. Those are so learners, children, people that are learning, they can write what the meanings are, small within and around the picture. And then basically after purchasing these images from her, I went into Canva and I created other cards. For example, here's the Four of Wands. So I created this card specifically in Canva with the images on Canva. So after you do that, you can go to a company called makeplayingcards.com. And the story mode in Canva is actually the perfect fit for I think it's like 2.75 by 4.25 or something like that. Whatever the dimensions of a tarot card are, okay? So this deck is not finished. I know earlier I said the first deck I ever finished. I actually found an error on the Seven of Pentacles. There was a half of pentacle like hanging out on the side of my image and I completely missed it. And it was... I couldn't believe it, but at the same time, the meaning of the Seven of Pentacles is kind of like, making sure that everything is, all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted in order for it to be successful. So I said, okay, there's some more time that's needed in this, okay? Could you type the notes on each card in Canva too? Yeah, so what I did it might be hard to see. I didn't think of this before I printed it because it looked so great on Canva. I made cards. I made a deck called, where are you? Oh, I made a really small deck called The Power of Three. Okay. And, what I did was I did number signs, synchronicities. Okay. And I put all these cards have 3-digit combinations and the meaning of what those combinations are. So I just went into Canva, I chose a black border, I chose a story mode, and then I went in and made the outline type of design. And what you do afterwards is you just hit duplicate, 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 duplicate. So, you're getting duplicate, and then you just go in and change the number, change the message. And then you can have these cards. So this says 747, keep your thoughts positive and focused as they're having wonderful effects in your life. So, and then you can go ahead and create the outside with Canva as well. And when you upload it to makeplayingcards.com, you get to see everything right there before it's printed, okay? So those are the two companies I used to create my deck for my Kickstarter. And that launches on Thanksgiving Day on the 24th. And if you guys haven't followed that campaign, I would love and appreciate all the follows. Okay. All right, let me see. So, Carrie Ann. All right. So I have someone in here named Lena. Is that you? I know it says Carrie Ann 5000, but the only reading I have in here that I haven't done yet, Carrie Ann, is Lena that just came through. It went to shoutouts. Is that right? Question and answered. You should have just gone to here, let me show you really quickly what the site will look like. So when you click the link in my bio, right here is like the version you're going to see on your phone. And then it says psychic readings, and you click on that, and that is where you input your question. Okay? So I'm just going to go back because I do have a reading in here request from Lena. So we'll do that. And then we'll talk about like the pricing and stuff for the... Okay, hi Lena. Okay. Ooh. Let me see over here. I do also work for Hey Hero, so if you happen to book on Hey Hero, which I'll just look really quickly, I can do that live as well. I just don't have the $11 readings. So if you paid $11, it was on Snipfeed. But I don't have you on Hey Hero either. Okay, so let's do Lena's reading, and then I'll get right back to you, my love, okay? And then we'll talk more about creating of the decks, okay? Okay, so Lena, your question is like general or pregnancy. So I'm just going to focus on your energy and see what comes through, whatever is the most important to come through. I might shuffle my deck. I'm not sure. See if another message comes through with that. I always like to shuffle. I think it's just like doing something with my hands. Okay. Lena Cook. All right. Hi, Lena. Thank you so much for booking this reading with me during my live event on 11/22. So you want to know about pregnancy. So when I'm in your energy and I ask you, will you get pregnant? You are like this. Like you are so happy and joyful. So I'm taking it as your energy is confirming that there is a pregnancy for you in the future. Now, when I ask when you will get pregnant, you show me the number 2. Okay, so this could mean 2 cycles, this could mean 2 months, or it could be 2 tries or something like that, okay? Usually, in the past, when someone shows me their numbers, that for me indicates a timing period. For example, the very first fertility reading, I saw the number 2, and I wasn't sure if it was 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, and it ended up being 2 months that she was pregnant. So I'm going to go with 2 months or 2 cycles. However, like you see it in your head is how it's basically coming through. Let me see if there's any messages for you, general readings. So I heard focus on the specifics, focus on the details. Okay? Okay. And then I see you writing in a calendar. Now, I'm sure that you're already like following your cycles, but I feel like there's a little bit more information or time. It's something about timing, but it's not the cycles. I don't know if it's the time of day, but I just keep getting timing. I see a calendar, and I'm sure you're already following it, but it may be it may be your timing. Look what card I have. Your hard work is about to pay off. You're about to receive. Okay, so I would be confident. I'm confident that this is going to follow through just as you imagine. Just being patient about it, okay? And something about the details again and the timing. And again, I feel like you're already knowing the ovulation and stuff like that, but it might be the time of day that it's going on, or maybe you're doing it too soon or too late. I'll ask you on here, okay? Thank you so much for booking. Okay. Oh, Brandy, thank you so much for being my words. Okay, Lena, are you here? I wanna make sure. I kind of want to follow up with this a little bit, Lena. Because if you're I want to make sure that I give you the right information, because it feels like, I don't know if you need to do it early, or like I'm hearing the word early. So I don't know if you need to do it earlier than you think you're ovulating, or if you're doing it too early. Okay, everything makes sense. Okay, great. It makes sense to you, then I am confident that I delivered the right message. All right. It's 11:22, guys. I love this day. 112222. It's like, it literally is 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. In January, we'll be trying for the second time. Okay. Good. And it needs to be a joint effort. Okay? Joint effort. Good interactions. All right. Love solves everything. You know why? Being lustful, being in love, it releases endorphins and chemicals in your body that make you happy. But when you're stressing over something, your cortisol levels are going to outweigh the happy, and that can overtake something like a pregnancy coming through. Okay? So maybe don't even, now that you have this idea, it's possible. Yes, I'm excited. Just forget about it and just have fun. Just do it all the time. All right. Just making sure here. We got anybody else coming through. So I just did Lena. All right. Good morning. Good morning, guys. So if you'd like a reading, we have $11 readings because it's 11:22, and I thought $22, let's do 11. So head to the link in my bio. You'll see my snip feed link. It's snip.co/Katie Maike. And I'm doing the readings live right now, so it pops right up on my tablet. I record it for you. You'll get to hear it here, and then I will send the video back to you within 48 hours. Okay, so you get to keep your response. And I have Bitchy Witchy Brandy in here, my one of my very first moderators I ever had. And I don't even know when was this, Brandy, in like 2020, right? So she will guide you if I am talking. Okay, so let's, what I was talking about before was creating oracle decks. Okay, I have my first oracle deck. It's called Body Health Oracle. And I just have to let you guys know a little secret. I've been hiding this from you. I created a booklet that goes with this deck that teaches you how to do psychic health scans. It actually teaches you how I do mine. And a color coding system I developed in order to give more accurate readings. Okay. Now, along with this, I created a 20-card visualization training deck because I told you guys that my first degree is in sports psychology, where I focused on the use of imagery for athletes and actually people with cancer. I did a lot of research on patients with cancer and how visualizing their cells as being healthy or new help them heal faster than patients that did not have any visualization techniques given to them to employ while they were in the hospital. So I believe that visualization training is so important, especially if this is the field that you want to be in, if you want to just have more intuition, okay? And let me tell you 2 ways. I was your first medium. Yay! Let me tell you 2 ways that you guys can improve your visualization techniques. 2 ways that are really easy, okay? And I used to use this with athletes all the time, because this was really easy for them to understand and to do whenever, wherever. So the first thing is, I need you to just look at an object. Look at an object, a clock, a doorway, someone's house, if you see a shed or barn, anything, a bottle, okay? And I need you to stare at it and stare at it and stare at it for about 30 seconds. You don't need to count, but stare at it. And then I want you to close your eyes and try to hold that image in your mind's eye for as long as you can. Look at the details of it. If it's something you could pick up, pretend you're turning it around and you're seeing all the sides of it and the details of it. And hold that image in your mind as long as you can until it fades away. Doing this over and over will increase the capacity of you to hold on to that image, and it's training your mind to, be more visual overall. This next exercise is kind of cool. You sit in your house and you imagine what your house looks like. So you sit in a room, you sit in your living room, and you close your eyes. And in your mind's eye, you're actually going to stand up. In your mind's eye, though, you're going to be sitting on the couch physically with your eyes closed. Stand up, and I want you to start to walk around your room while your eyes are closed. Like, walk around as if you were really walking around your house. And I want you to see the details of the walls, of the doors. You know where everything is in your house. But the more you do this, it's kind of like an out-of-body experience, or it's training you to do remote viewing. And these techniques done over a long period of time is how I developed my remote viewing and how I do missing persons cases. So I just thought I would share a little bit of that with you. There will be some cool tips and tricks within the guidebook on how to do this as well. Okay, so it's not like a normal guidebook that's like, oh, here's systems. This is what systems mean. I said, screw that. I already have the meanings on the cards. I don't need anything extra. And also, this is 100% eco-herbage paper, and it comes in a really hard tin box, and I did that to protect the deck, and both 100% recyclable. So that is, that's why I chose this, okay? All right. Let's go on here. All right, so anybody still in here that was wondering about decks, the price of decks, or how expensive it is to get your own deck printed? I know that was a question before I did the reading for Lena. So I'll just tell you, when you go on to makeplayingcards.com, if you get one deck printed, and the price depends on everything that you add onto the deck. If you're doing just very standard cardstock and you just want to get it shrink wrapped because you don't want the boxes, I prefer them that way because I just leave my decks out and I have them set up. I don't usually... Okay, I'm confused. I now have a Snipfeed account, and I clicked on the live, filled out, and hit pay now. Okay. Let's see. Looking for anything open. Let me head to my page and see if... I'm so sorry that you're having a hard time with it. It seems to be working for everybody else who's booked. You clicked on the live. Filled out and okay, did you click on the live on TikTok? Got link to verify purchase for Snipfeed, and my question is under shoutouts. Twice. Shoutouts. Okay, let me look. I wish I could see what you see, girl. Okay. I believe you. I just don't know where to look because I don't have anything that says shout outs. I have question and answers. And the only questions that I have published right now I have Diana, Katie, Michelle, Courtney, and Lena that came through today. Got link to verify purchase for snip feed, and my question is under shoutouts. Oh, girl. Okay, well, what I can do is if I see your question multiple times, you could send me a screenshot on Instagram. This is so crazy. Why is this not coming through? If I do see your question pop up and there's multiple purchases, I can decline one and you'll get your money back. Okay, so if you're like, oh my gosh, the money came out twice, what's going on? And let me see. Open. Sorry, we're having a hard time. So I just want to make sure you clicked on this that says psychic readings, right? It says psychic readings, and that's what you filled out. I just want to make sure that's what you did. When you go under when you go in your account and you go to shoutouts, yes, it will be there. That is where you go to receive your readings. You are correct, 100% correct. I'm just not sure. I've had someone accidentally put it in tipping before. I'm just not sure why I don't see it. Okay, let's do this. I believe you. I just don't see it right now, and I don't know why. Tell me your question, and we'll do it right now. I'll record it in case I find it later. Okay? And I'll try to message you. Let me see. Okay, I followed you. Okay. So, Carrie Ann, 5,000. I followed you. I will message you after, and then we can get in touch. You can kind of show me where you sent it. Go ahead and send me your question, and I'm going to record it just in case I see your reading after, and then I can email you the reading. Okay? We'll fix this, okay? I'm just not sure why I don't see it on my end, love. And I do apologize. Hi, Stace. I have been here. I have been creating oracle decks. I have been traveling the U.S. in my camper with my family. I've been growing a baby. I've got a big old belly on me right now. Look, you guys see this belly. I know. I'm trying to not go buy maternity clothes, so I'm still wearing the same crop tops. All right, Carrie Ann. Make sure you send me a message on TikTok. I just followed you, and or put your question here so I can answer it for you. Just because I can't seem to find it right now, and I don't want you to keep paying, but I'm sure we can figure this out after. I'm sure we can work out the details afterwards. I can contact Snipfeed and ask them, hey, I got this screenshot. Someone said they paid 2 times. Where is it? I can't find it. So don't worry. I can handle that stuff on the side. But I don't see it right now. So that's all I can do for you is have you ask the question right now. And then I'll keep the recording as an in case. And when and if we find it, I'll send it to you that way. Or if we got to do something different, I can just use another website, another large file website to send files over. Okay? All right. So if anybody would like a reading, I'm doing readings for $11 today. Hi, my name is Katie Maike. I'm a psychic medium. I'm also an intuitive life coach. And I'm a oracle deck creator. So I have this beautiful body health oracle deck that I've created for you. It's a 66 deck card. It's based off of organs and systems within the human body. And the creation of this was to bring mind, body, and spirit back together as one. So I hope that you guys get to see this on my TikTok page, on my Instagram, and I have a Kickstarter that's beginning in 2 days. 2 days, guys. I hope that you follow the campaign. Okay, so I'm just waiting on Carrie Ann to send me her question because I don't see it coming up through with the rest of the requests, which is odd. And I'm so sorry this is happening. All right. Hopefully you're still here, Carrie Ann. Okay. Okay, so we want some direction. Okay, great. So let's do that, Carrie Ann. Okay. So I'm going to hit record, like I said, just in case. But make sure that you send me a message on TikTok so that we can chat and head over to a place where you can send me some visuals or some screenshot or something like that so that I can contact Snipfeed and get this settled for you, okay? All right. Okay, so here we go. Hello, love. Hi, Carrie Ann. Thank you so much for booking with me. So I have your question right here on TikTok, and I'm going to see what your spirit guides are showing me. Okay, so what I'm getting is like a tear effect, and it feels like there is acting out from children based on a relationship or based on there's a lot of tension that I feel like, and I do feel like there is a child that might be I get the word resent. I don't know why I get the word resent, and I'm not sure what the situation is, but I just feel like this child doesn't have enough, or they feel like they don't have enough attention, and that the attention is on some other bigger issue within the family. Now, what I feel like I have to say is, in general, like when I'm thinking about parenting, I'm literally shown lack of conversation, but I don't know if that's a bad thing. I feel like there needs to be less talking in general, but I feel like there needs to be more physical hugging, snuggling, hanging out, being consciously aware with one another, whether that's just like watching a movie with no phones or something. There just needs to be closeness. I feel like physical touch, closeness, and I feel like that, overall, I feel like that's going to help, but I'm also feeling, it's like a lack of bonding, that there are other things that are kind of coming in the way, like a lot of life crap that is coming in the way of this physical bonding as a parent and a child. And I also hear restore. And so I feel like there's like a relationship that needs to be restored, but I'm also feeling that it's some type of physical connection, like a closeness or a feeling of closeness, almost like, when you bring that baby home from the hospital and you hold them and you just feel so close to them. I mean, they're the tiniest little souls and you just gave birth. I feel like there needs to be a reconnection of that baby, like loving, motherly, babying kind of energy, in order to create a strong bond between you. And at least it's one child I'm picking up on the most, and I feel like there's anger coming from this child. Okay, so that's my advice. I really hope this helps you, and thank you so much for booking. All right, I hope you got that, love. Okay, and, oh my gosh, so true. Okay, good. I'm glad that resonated with you, and to know that your guides are telling you it's not so much what you say anymore. It's like what you don't say. It's what you look like. It's the physical connection. It's the close proximity. It's creating that bond again, I guess, is kind of what was coming through, and I feel like that love just that closeness can heal more than you think. Okay? So I'm so glad you stuck with this. Now, make sure, don't leave me hanging. I'll try to find you after, so you can show me, maybe how you screenshot it will show me where to find it. I'm not sure why I don't see it, but I do have the recording in case, we figure out a different way. All right? All right, cool. Because I still don't see you in here, but that's okay. All right, guys, great. So here we go. I'm going to go on for a little bit longer here. I might come back on later. For those of you guys who don't know, I work on an app called Sanctuary. Has anybody heard of Sanctuary? It's an astrology app, and I love it because not only it gives you like all your astrology for the day. It gives you your birth chart, and you can look up aspects of your birth chart, and it explains it to you. I don't have any readings in right now, so if you book at the second, you'll be next. I just finished my last one. Head to the link in my bio. You'll see psychic readings for $11. It should be the second bubble down, and there you go. Video response will be emailed to you. All right, I completely forgot what I was saying, but that's okay. Maybe I wasn't supposed to. Oh, yes. On Sanctuary. Yes, I work on Sanctuary. And what that is like you can connect at any moment that you get card pulls of the day, learn about the astrology. It gives you personal sun and rising sign readings every day. And then you can connect with like astrologers, tarot readers, mediums, psychics live. So I sign on and I'm live for however many hours. And then you can book instantly with me. There's 30% off all readings that are going on today and Wednesday. So I'm usually on super early in the morning. So if you're like an early riser, your kids are home from school and you're up early, that's why I'm on so early. And I'm 29 weeks pregnant, so I can't be up at 10 p.m. anymore doing my readings. So that's why I've been up so early. So, this, like, has anyone else been affected a lot by this eclipse season? Because I feel like we were all in completely different places in our lives. May, June, we were transforming. We were seeing things like it's, spring just occurred and it was almost like we had this new start, but we didn't recognize it until like almost summer. And now here we are coming to the end of it, and it's like, did I change? What's going on? Why does life feels normal to me? But I feel like a lot of you guys do have to pat yourself on the back and say, wow, like this was the person I was a year ago, and look who I am now, or look at what I've accomplished, or look what I've done in this past year, or I set my mind to this and I actually did it. Because I feel like energetically, the universe wants us all to feel that. They want to feel accomplished for growing. We want to feel we're getting rewarded for the awakening that happened. We know 2020 was that eye-opener, right? Hindsight's 2020. And that was like a time where everybody started to just see a little bit more. And I feel like now is the time where the universe is going to start congratulating us for all this work that we did. So, start to see and expect more abundance in your life, see more opportunity in your life. And it just may not look like what you think or how it came in the past. Like we think luck is like winning the lottery. But what if luck is just, having an unexpected child, to be the sixth child in your house. What if that's lucky? And I didn't see that as lucky in the beginning, so there's so much that we all have to be grateful for in our moment, like where we are and how far we've come. And if we, life is about contrast. We signed up for contrast in this life. We're actually not trying to make it to a place where we have no contrast, where nothing upsets us or nothing bad ever comes our way. Like that's not where we're headed. We signed up for a life of contrast, because that's what makes it exciting. But what we can do is kind of look from our past and move forward. Okay, I have Chelsea. Hi, Chelsea. I have a reading for you, Chelsea. So Chelsea just came through. All right, so Chelsea would like a general reading. So I'm going to do an energy reading for Chelsea. I'm going to record it. Chelsea, you're going to get your reading. Hi, babe. You'll get your reading back sent to your email within 24 to 48 hours. It'll probably be sent late tonight when my kids go to bed. Okay. Okay, so this card flew out. I'm just going to leave it here for Chelsea's reading. I'm also going to do an energy reading. Chelsea, I know I've done many readings for you on Hey Hero in the past, so it's so nice to see you. Ooh, I keep dropping all these cards. Here we go. All right. Hi, Chelsea. Thank you so much for booking with me during my live event on 11/22. Here is your reading of a general reading. Let me just close my mind. I close my eyes here. I have an image coming through in my mind. Okay, so I'm actually getting like energy of feeling heated about something, and I feel like, I don't know if you recognize this as a trigger, but I feel like there's healing behind the heat. But it's almost like, it feels like something is true, but it makes like my ears hot. It makes my head hot to think about, and I don't know if it's like an eye-opener, or if someone's saying that something that you believe deep down in your soul is true, but there's some type of programming or thought or behavior on top of that, like ego-driven, that is kind of keeping that from fully being accepted as a lesson. Okay, this card, remember I told you something, Chelsea. Chelsea's like, yes. Be the commander of your own thoughts. Okay, this is spinal cord. Be the commander of your own thoughts and create your own reality. So, what I'm saying is, take control of your thoughts and in understanding your emotions. Because thoughts kind of turn into words, they turn into emotions. Take control of your thoughts. Okay, if there's a deeper examination. And I saw the word kid. Kid. I don't know if you have a child, or if I'm being told to go back to when you were a kid. That if this situation is replicated, there's a situation that's being replicated, I feel like, in your life now, and it needs to be healed. Balance. Stop letting past influences control your feelings. Can you believe that I just said that? Okay, you might be being triggered by your children. Like there might be something with your children that is triggering you, and that's the healing. It might have to go back to that child's age. I'm not exactly sure, but look, I mean, I literally just got more balance of not letting past influences control your thoughts or your stability. And in general, I feel like you have to recognize this feeling needs balance. It's almost like the feeling is telling you that in your subconscious you believe it, or there's something more, and there's an external kind of like, well, no, I don't believe it. So it's like cognitive dissonance that needs to be balanced out, is how I feel. I hope this helps you. I can't put my words on it, but I feel like there is, someone says something to you in like a way that is very calm to them, but I feel like it triggers you. Okay? And we need to look into that, why this is happening. Not why this person's doing it, but why it's making you feel this way. Okay? There's healing here. There's acceptance here. All right? Thank you so much for booking, Chelsea. Okay, Chelsea, I hope that resonated with you. I'm not sure. I heard kid, so I wasn't sure if it was a child of yours, specifically a child that is saying something, or there was an event that's related to it. But I see kids. I see kids. Does kids have to do with this? I don't know if you want to answer that. You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. Okay. But thank you so much for booking, Chelsea. So we are doing readings live here for 11/22. I just love this day. So let me tell you why I love this day so much. You guys like love stories? Okay. So I moved to Florida in 2009. And thanks, Chelsea. I moved to Florida in 2009, and I was in a crappy relationship, but believe it or not, I was sucked into a narcissistic relationship right when I got there. And that was because I was in a crappy relationship. I was already at a low. And again, I saw someone that I thought I could change, that I thought I could help, that empath kind of vibe. And they obviously took advantage of that a little bit. And but let me tell you what came out of that. Just so happens that the person I was dating, her sister was married to a man named Brian, and she wanted me to meet her family. So on 11/22, her sister and her brother-in-law came down to the bar that we worked at, and I wasn't there right away. I came out of the bathroom, and I see this man, and he's standing there. His name is Brian. And he looked so familiar to me. It looked like I knew him. I knew him, but I couldn't figure it out. We had a 15-year age difference. He lived in Florida his whole life. Nobody we went to school with one another. We talked forever trying to figure out how we knew each other. And it turns out, 8 years later, when we both got rid of those relationships we were in, there was this moment of us having this conversation about our very first encounter and how we felt so connected to one another. But in the moment, we were kind of dating people in the same family, and that was obviously a no-no. And I was with a narcissist, so I was very controlled at the time. Or I allowed myself to be controlled. I didn't understand boundaries and stuff like that, and was easily taken advantage of in that way. And so that man that I met on 11/22 that I thought would have possibly been my brother-in-law ended up being my husband. In 2018, we got married, and now I am on my fifth pregnancy, and we have 6 children together. So that is why I absolutely love 11/22, because that was the day that I met my twin flame, my sacred partner, and it took about 8 years of us doing healing work and feeling not good enough, and not confident in ourselves, or feeling like we didn't deserve love, and then finally working on that and making huge decisions that got us away from these really shitty relationships, working on ourselves, and then coming to a place where we had to be so totally honest about our feelings for one another. It was so scary, I'll tell you. When I heard the words come out of his mouth, you are my soulmate, I think I jumped back 10 feet and said, no, this is insane. This is crazy. This is insane. So even love, guys, if you're looking for love, it could be somebody that's already in your life, and maybe you just didn't want to accept that they were that person for you. Maybe you made excuses already that person couldn't be your sacred partner, and these are the reasons why. I just have to tell you that what I've learned about love is that there's nobody ever taught me what love feels like to the degree to which I've felt it. Having heart chakra awakenings, or knowing what it feels like to be with someone that is a soul connection, and actually living out your own destiny and your true self while you're with another individual and not losing yourself in that relationship. I'm telling you, being friends and finding yourself, the work comes before the relationship. The work doesn't come after. It doesn't come after the meeting and the sexual attraction and all that stuff. Because let me tell you, I feel like in my mind, I pushed that relationship away for so long that when it was time to get intimate, it was weird. Because I had put him in this box of, you are just this person. Okay, and this will never be. But after everything grew, it grew in a way that was unlike any connection I've ever had. It grew to so much intensity that, I'm pregnant again at 36. So let me tell you, if anybody out there, if you are still just, looking, if you're just looking for that person, they may already be around you. Okay, so I have Stacy and Crystal. Here we go. So Stacy, you're first. Snow 320, booked a reading, 2-part question. All right, got you. Okay, after Lena was Chelsea. We already did Chelsea. So now I'm on to Stacy. And then we have Crystal. Okay. You know, I got to tell you something, guys, too. You know, so you're saying, been there. I was infertility, impatient, got pregnant at 36. Now, that's what narrowness to me. So we had 1 in 40. Listen, we were doing at home insemination because he was a professional motocross, all this. He had issues with his swimmers, we'll say. Sorry, Bri, I hope you're not listening. And we had to do our own at-home infertility treatments. So, like, after the last child, we really didn't think that it was possible to get pregnant, and we did. We didn't need any help, apparently. It was apparently meant to be. Okay, so let's do Stacy's reading right now. Stacy. Hi, Stacy. Thanks for being here. Okay, so Stacy wants a general reading. All right, here we go. Let me accept this. We're going to head over here. Let's see what you guys have to say. Hold on here, Stacy. That was a crazy message I just got. Okay. Hi, Stacy. Thank you so much for booking this reading. So I just focused in on your energy, and the first thing that I said is limits. I feel like you're setting limits. I don't know if you're setting limits, or I don't know if you just don't feel like you can achieve so much success, but I do feel like this has to do with your success or what you are creating in this lifetime. Okay, creating and making money off of. This is what it's coming through is financial. I feel like you're not done growing. There are things in your life that you're going to be accomplishing that you didn't even think that are possible for you. Okay? And I feel like I just get create beyond your limits. Create beyond your limits is what keeps coming through. And this is so interesting. Okay, veins. That's the card I have right now. Veins. And it says to facilitate. It says filling your life with things you love leaves no room for anything else. So what this is telling me is you have no boundaries. And if you were meant to work within boundaries, this is not for you. This is limits somebody else placed on you. I feel like you need to get rid of those limits. I also feel like you need to start doing things that bring you more joy, whether you make money off of them or not. I feel like there's something that's going to be a huge hit, something, I don't know how old you are now, but I'm getting this like later on in life scenario in my head where you accomplish something or you're creating it. I don't know if it's a product or a thing. There is something that you created and then you release to the world, and it's very profitable and it's amazing. It's something that I feel like and I'm getting around the age of 50. I don't know how old you are right now, but I'm getting something around 50 or after 50. Something that you did that you never thought you could do. Like looking back, you might be like, holy cow, like I thought those were my best years. So I feel like you need to let go of any limits, of any possibilities, especially when it comes to age or getting older. You can always go back to school. Like I'm not saying that you have to, but it's that kind of thing where you're not getting too old for anything and you do not have limits. You are limitless. And you're going to continue to grow because the thing that I see you doing in the future, it's not something you could be thinking up right now. It's something that you grow into. It's something that's high skills. I feel like I have to say high tech skills. Okay? I hope this helps you. Keep striving for that. I think that's why this came through, is you have to keep striving for more. Bringing in things that you love in your life you'll start to see the things that didn't work for you will start to kind of just go away. All right? Thank you so much for booking. All right. Thanks for being here, guys. We got Crystal. Crystal, you're reading. Thank you so much, Stacy. Okay, Crystal. All right. So we got two. Okay, so Crystal added an additional $11. So you have 2 questions. You're welcome, Stacy. So you have 2 questions here. Spiritual gifts and being on the right career path. Okay? So this might be a little bit longer than 1 to 2 minutes. I'm going to pull a couple cards for you before I start this. Okay. Just a random card that I feel like will help me later. We're just going to throw that out there. Sometimes I just don't feel like shuffling a lot. Because it takes up time during the reading, right? Okay. I already hear the words, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. So I don't know if you've been talking to somebody, like a spirit, or you feel like you have been talking to spirit, or that clairaudience is going to be something that is really important for you. Okay. Hello, love. Okay, so you have a 2-part question here for me. You want to know about your career path, and you want to know about your abilities, okay? So right away, I started to hear, like, I hear you. So I don't know if this is someone that you have been talking to on the other side. I do believe that it is giving me some inclination that you do have the ability to talk with spirit. And I also feel like I have to tell you that the way in which the messages are coming through are not your own thoughts. Okay? There's something about the way the message is coming in and how confusing you are between your own words and an intuitive, like, energetic, psychic message coming through. So I feel like I have to tell you that what you are experiencing is intuitive. And I feel like you've thought this way a lot of your life. You've been this way. I don't know if you're a self-talker or what the talking or the speaking that's coming through. But I do feel like this has always been your ability. It just may not have been spoken like it's an ability or along those lines, if that makes sense. So you never viewed it in that way. And I'm getting this image, like, and this could be like a metaphor or whatever, or this could be in the future, but I feel like you wake up one morning, you stretch, you use the bathroom, and there's it's almost like a different perspective tomorrow. It's almost like I wake up and tomorrow is so different. And it's just perspective. And what I feel like I have to say is, like, there's this energy of, like, you wake up one day and you're like, oh my God, my abilities are here. Where have they been? No, they've always been there. It's just your perspective is now shifting to believe that what you could always do was always intuitive. Okay, so I need you to listen more to how you respond to your own questions. If you ask questions and you feel like you respond, like you personally, that is psychic ability that's coming through. Okay, I think you just need to trust it more. All right, so career path. I'm just gonna flip these cards over. Okay. Wow, interesting. So you got the C card. Okay. This is confirming that, you are able to look beyond the physical. Look, it says literally look beyond the physical and see that we are all really just walking around upside down. Things are not what they seem. Perspective! Your perspective on your gifts. This is what this card is, okay? It's about seeing what is really going on here, not what people conditioned you to believe was going on, okay? Now, career. So I have Lovers in reverse. This could mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that, it could mean that there are a lot of conflicts in the career that you have chosen. I hear writing. I don't know if you are a writer, but I heard the word writing. I don't know if that is part of what you do already or if you need to branch off and do more of that. Something that is more in your control. It could also mean just conflicts with other people that you work with or making bad choices or things like that. So to get the Lovers for a career, I don't know if there's going to be a complete well-rounded opportunities here for your life to be flexible. And I feel like there needs to be more flexibility. And I'm not saying that job needs to go, but I feel like there's more to add on to it. Flexibility is what I'm getting, and I'm seeing other opportunities. So I do feel like if there are other opportunities that come in, this might just be a segue or a catalyst for you. And I want you to be open to it. So I'm not getting anything that says turn around, run backwards. This is the right path, but you might experience some things that make you think it's not the right path, but it is, because you will be sent in the right direction. No matter what, you will be sent in the right direction for your career. And again, I'm not sure what the writing, why I heard writing. I don't know if this is like something that you like to do on the side or what, but I do feel like there are some, I get side hustles, but I feel like there are some like small little projects that you could start to do for fun that do end up eventually bringing in some passive income for you on the sides. Okay? Thank you so much for booking with me. I really hope this helps you. All right. Hi guys, I am back. Welcome in. I'm Katie Maike. I'm a psychic medium. Go ahead and double tap on that screen. Just boom, 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 boom. Okay, it hits. I talked to myself. I talked to my ex who died last year, and I'm going back to school, career change. Okay, so when I hear you, he hears you. He hears you. Okay? I knew you were talking to somebody. All right. You've got this, okay? All right, if you guys have any specific questions, I would love to answer them for you. For $11, you can head to the link in my bio. It'll take you right to my Snipfeed page. It's snipfeed.co/Katie Maike. There you will, actually first, when you get on the page, you'll see the Kickstarter event for my Body Oracle, Body Health Oracle deck. And then right below it, you'll see psychic readings for $11. Okay. And you started journaling like crazy last year. Okay. Journaling, it could even just be creating journals. Okay. But it definitely, there's something to do with writing, and I feel like a side hustle or something, is going to be beneficial to you. Okay. Awesome. I really appreciate you booking. Thank you. All right. Let me just go back, make sure nobody else is waiting right now. All right. Perf. Okay. That was great. You are so welcome. And thank you guys for being here. I know a couple of you have been hanging out for the long run. All right. Do you offer free yes or no questions? Well, I mean, what do you want to know? I mean, I'm not really, I don't like yes or no's because okay, you say dragoness.tarot. I'm going to say that if you do tarot, you know that there is no really yes or no question. There is energy, and there are always other energies and complications and things. So things could happen, yes, but there's always something. You know that, right? You know that. You have, but if you would like I can describe the energy of the situation to you, and then you can decide on a yes or no, or I can tell you I would head this way or that way. So if you would like that question answered, go ahead and book. So how do you book a private reading? So if you would like a one-on-one Zoom reading, if you head to the link in my bio and just scroll a little bit past the live TikTok readings, you'll see the one-on-one Zooms and how to book those. Right now I have 30 minutes for $99 for the holidays. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're also just looking for me to not read it during this live, you can put that in the question. I do have the $11 readings available for another 3 hours. So until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. I'm on the East Coast right now. It's so crazy because I've been traveling so much that we just go through time zones. And there was even one place where I was living where like I lived on the lake, and the lake was mountain time. I think it's mountain, right? What's the next one over? Central? What's the next one over from East Coast? I don't know. An hour behind, whatever. It was an hour behind of town. So once you started leaving town, once you started to leave the lake, your time on your clock changed. So I could never, I'm like, okay, what time zone are we in? What time is it? And, but I'm in East Coast time now, so. How do you make a payment from Nigeria? PayPal. Snipfeed takes PayPal. PayPal and or debit cards. Credit cards, I think. Like, it goes through like a Stripe account or a PayPal account. All right. Here we go. What are we going to do right now? Here. All right, guys. I'm going to show you how I started doing my health scans. Okay? So if some of you guys are in here and you have psychic abilities and you want to know how I got started on this, this is a story for you. Okay? I did tell you that I did a health scan for a friend, and I helped her get diagnosed for breast cancer, and I helped her have 2 cancerous lumps in her colon removed. And this is before I even knew what I was doing. This is before I had no idea. I just saw her chest beaming in bright red, and I saw yellow dots like in her abdomen area. And she ended up, believing me and going and getting some things tested and found out she had cancer, stage 4 breast cancer, and polyps in her colon. So after I started to do free readings for people, because as a psychic or medium or intuitive or however you want to call whatever you want to call yourself, the more you do it, the more you train, the better you are. So what I would first do is I started to draw outlines of people's bodies. I had this book, and I said to people, hey, I'm really working on this, and I can't guarantee 100% accuracy, but I would love. I'm trying to figure this out for myself. So I would love if you could just analyze the images that I give you. And if you want a free health scan to see if I'm right about anything, or maybe something will pop up, then let's do this. Email me. So I got about 150 emails in the whole first month that I did this. And this is before I started charging, because I wanted to be really good at it. I helped someone and I said, okay, how can I help more people? So what I would first do is I drew an outline of their body. Sometimes it was a stick figure. Sometimes it was something like this. Whatever I was drawn to, I'd start with the person's name at the top and I'd draw the stick figure. And the first thing that I would recognize, good morning, the first thing I recognize is if I made the stick figure any weird anyway. Okay? Like if an elbow was bent, or if I made someone's hip a little bit to the right, or I made a bump or something in their side, I would notice my drawing. Because my drawing was always sending me to that area of the body. So for example, in this drawing that I did, I don't have their name on it, but for some reason, I just you're looking at this, so it's their right leg. Their right leg was it was moving so much that my image had so many lines over it, line over line over line over line. And I was like, there's something about your right leg. I don't know if it's twitching or it's restless leg. And they had told me that they had nerve damage in their hip, and their right leg kind of twitches and moves a lot. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. So the more I did it, and the more feedback I got on what my visions were telling me, the more I could understand and relay better messages to other clients. And then what I ended up doing after that was I started to color code the human body, because it was taking a really long time. I would start at the head and I would make my way down. And it was taking probably 30 to 45 minutes to do that for each customer, each client. So what I did was I said, I started to color code things like organs, glands, muscles, bones, things like that. And I would ask for a color of something that's really important for me to tell my client. So I would receive blue, and that was nerves. So I'd say, okay, take me to the area of the body where these nerves are damaged or where I need to know. And I would be brought to a certain area, or I would hear a number of the vertebrae of the spine, or whatever the case may be. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Magic School Bus. When they shrink down and they go into Ralphie's body, and they're riding in his stomach and through the blood and stuff. That's visually how I see the human body. I'm inside of it. So sometimes it's really hard for me to be where am I? What is this? And so I started to develop this color coding system that would help me to decipher, because really when you're giving medical readings, happy 11/11 guys, when you're giving medical readings, your job is not to diagnose. You can help people find the origin of pain or origin of cause of something that's going on. If a doctor has no idea what's going on, that's normally when people come to me. They say, oh, there's an issue here. I know there is, but there's no tests that are showing it. I'm able to either confirm or deny whatever is going on there based on any information that's coming through. I've also color-coded chakras and auras, I mean, those are so much easier, I guess, to tell if there's blockages, but chakras and auras are going to tell me a couple things. Auras can tell me compatibility with people. Chakras can tell me if you have trauma or energetic blocks in certain areas. 11 people in here at 1111. There's your number sign, people. There's your synchronicities. So I developed a training deck, a 30-card training deck that goes along with the Body Health Oracle. Okay, it's 20 cards. The cards are like the big cards, though. They're huge training cards, and they're a visualization training deck that I created so others can do this too. Because let me tell you, when I started coming out about doing medical readings, oh my God, people give me so much shit. And you want to know the people that give me the most shit were other psychics and other mediums. Like, they'd be like, I don't do those readings. Why do you do those readings? You're not supposed to do those readings. Those readings, you can get in trouble, or like all this stuff. And it was just, like all of the limited beliefs. And here I am, like the very first reading I ever helped a friend get diagnosed with breast cancer early enough to where she didn't lose her breast. Like, in my mind, that is helping people. And being afraid of what others say, and you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. That is living in fear. And fear is not intuition. Fear is keeping you in old cycles. A lot of you guys might see on my page, I do a lot of missing persons cases. Sometimes I get a good, energy to do a lot of cases. Sometimes I lay back a little bit. And I'll tell you, it's not easy doing these readings, and it's because people have their own opinions of who should be doing it and what I should be doing. But it's, once something comes to light, once news comes to light and it matches one of my readings, then everything's okay. But usually when I start readings and do readings for people who have passed, everyone's tells me I need to get permission and stuff like that. There is limited beliefs within the spiritual community too. Okay, so it's limitless. You are limitless. You can do whatever the hell you want, as long as your intentions are good. And that's what karma is. People realize that's what karma is. Do I ever think I would get bad karma for doing readings for missing persons cases? Hell no. I'm giving people a voice, right? I'm giving people a voice, and it is my intention to help them. So I know nothing bad will come back. No matter who says what, I can get in trouble for this, that. Don't listen to people, okay? Live out your abilities and help people. And you don't all have to become psychics and mediums, but you do all have a certain level of intuition that can be used in whatever career you choose. Whether you're building houses, designing interiors, whether you're a photographer, you are going to receive intuitive messages about what's the next picture I'm going to take, or what is this house going to look like in the end, or you're talking to your client, you can visualize what they want in their house. That is all a heightened state of awareness and intuition that can help you in your career every day, okay? You don't need to be a psychic medium in order to want to have that heightened state of intuition. And I'll tell you, even having it has made mothering my children so much easier, and I stopped listening to society as far as we tell our children to use their words a lot. And I do as far as emotions are concerned, but small children, like babies, mothers' intuitions, when a child is crying, you know what they want, right? You might get a picture of it. So, that intuition, this mother's intuition, it's the same thing. You have the ability, okay? All right. How do I get a reading? So if you click the link in my bio right here, you will be taken right to my profile. Actually, it'll pop up down here and you have to click it again. You'll be taken to my profile on TikTok, and there's a link, snip feed, and that is where you will be taken to once. Here, I'll show you what it looks like real quick on my end, because I'm on the back side of the website, but here on the side, okay, through my ring light, there's the Body Health Oracle Kickstarter, and right under it is the psychic readings for $11. Okay, so you click on that, submit your question, it's going to come up to me here. And then I'm going to do the reading live for you while I record it, and then send a copy right to your email within 24 hours, okay? So let me just get back on my other page, and I'll come back. I see there's some questions. Yeah, everyone is different, yep. All right. Requests. Open. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, we are living in this life of synchronicities. And I need you all to know that it's not just numbers. And that your synchronicities are this external validation that you asked for in some type of previous contract, and these Synchronicities, whether they are numbers, whether someone is saying something the same time you are, or you're writing a word or typing a word and they say it on TV, that's a synchronicity, okay? And I'll tell you, like, specifically when I did my very first reading that helped my friend, I diagnosed my friend, I woke up that day and I said, universe, I am ready. I'm ready to live out. I know I'm supposed to be a medium. I know I am. Show me what it looks like. I will do it. Send it to me. I was literally like talking to the universe that day. And I turned my TV on and I see Netflix, and it was like Orange is the New Black, and there was a girl behind bars in a mugshot. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? Because I had a fear of police. I had some parenting, use police as parenting issues. So immediately I thought it was a bad sign, right? I'm like, ugh, my stomach dropped. I'm like, what does that mean? So I kind of got afraid a little bit. I'm not going to lie. And I went on my phone on Facebook, and as I scroll through my news feed, I see another woman that looks exactly like that woman that I saw on TV, and she had an orange jumpsuit, and she was also, it was her mugshot. And I'm like, oh my God, that is a synchronicity if I've ever seen one. Instead of thinking it was a fear, it was a synchronicity. And that's how I got to that woman who ended up needing the reading, and I helped diagnose her. So just be careful, be cautious, be aware of your synchronicities, because they are leading you to somewhere important. Okay, you are the light worker. You are bringing the messages, and it is your job to see the clues. Okay, and the clues can come in any form. Now, when I say any form, it means that a lot of my intuitive messages, hi SJ, how are you? How are you? A lot of my messages, not majority, but there's a good percentage comes from the external world. It comes from the 3D world. And for example, I could be in a parking lot and someone messages me about a missing persons. And I say, well, I'm not doing anything. And I would say, why am I in a parking lot? But usually I hate going in the stores. And you get a lot of from movies and music. Yes, 100%. So when, like, my husband goes into the store and I sit in the parking lot and I look through my messages and someone's asking me to do a missing person. So I say, okay. And I'm figuring, like, there's a reason I looked at it. There's a reason that I'm supposed to be doing this right now. So I'll get into it and I'll say, okay, send me a sign. Like I did a reading for, two children. This is a really old cold case. 2 children that went missing in a fire. Chloe and Gage, I believe. And I was sitting in a parking lot doing a reading for them, and I kept seeing Chloe. This was before, though. I kept seeing Chloe holding a green bag. She's holding a green bag, and she was standing in a grocery store. But she was working, but she was not working for the grocery store. And I'm like, why am I seeing this? I can't figure this out. I can't figure out why I'm seeing this. And I'm sitting here in the parking lot, and I say, send me a sign. Show me what I'm supposed to know about this. Like, why am I seeing this? And nothing, I felt like nothing happened. Here I am watching this person pack groceries into the back of their car. And then it hit me. I'm staring at this person who worked for Lyft. They had the green bag. They had a green shopping bag from Lyft. And I'm staring right at it. And I said, oh my God, she works for Lyft. And that was an external validation. It was a clue from the external world. And a lot of people are saying, well, how do you know when to ask? When you feel like how do you even know the sign's going to be there? But when you feel the urge to ask, it's because the sign is there, if that makes sense. Okay? Do you tend to remote view when you also do a missing persons case? Yes, all the time. That's it. Because I will jump back and forth, I feel like, between a person being alive and then my remote viewing kind of turns on when that person can't show me something anymore, if that makes sense. If they are passed out, or for example, there was a woman named, I think it was Kiara. She went missing about 2 years ago on my birthday on June 9th. And I did a reading for her. And I saw her in a car, in a truck with her boyfriend. They were arguing, fighting, and then I felt like she got punched in the face. Now, after that, my visions changed. All I was shown was this mucky, muddy swamp with a large log, and I was drawn to it. I was drawn to this mud, and I see this log, and I say, in my mind, it's like the universe was saying, she's here, she's here. But, I didn't have a word or a name to go with. So come to find out, she was actually buried in a swamp with it was like a sheet of plywood put over her, then mud on top of the plywood, and then a huge log was put on top of the plywood. So I believe that the remote viewing part is where I'm no longer in that person's energy, where I'm not seeing things from their perspective. Although I have had many instances where I do energy readings for people and I say, like yesterday, like this, I was like, I see you hanging out with a brown dog. Like you're just bonding with them or you're playing with them. And she was like, well, the brown dog's in my lap right now. So, like, I may see through the eyes of another person. Honestly, I don't have an explanation for it, but I do consider it called remote viewing, when you can, like, I can close my eyes and see what my family's doing right now. Like, is that weird? I don't know if they like that too much. Like, my kids even, my youngest, my 4-year-old, she'll say things to me, and I'll be like, how do you know that? And she'll be like, I'm psychic. And I'm like, do I say that too much? But I want my kids to have that ability. I want my kids to know that it's possible. So I just like allow them to do whatever. Like one time my daughter was mad at me. She was 4. She didn't get the toy she wanted. And she started lying to me about something. I said, you can't lie to mommy. You know you can't lie to mommy. Mommy always knows the truth. She goes, well, you're not psychic. And I said, how do you know? She goes, because I'm psychic and I know that you're not. And I was like, really? Really? Okay, so we're getting to this point. But I do want them to have the confidence. You know, I want them to have confidence because I feel like at a young age, my ideas of psychics and mediums were that they didn't exist. Like, how could that exist? I think my mom would be like, if we tried to ask her a question about what are we doing, or is it going to be, you know, a future kind of question, she would respond with things like, what am I, psychic? You know, so I had this idea that it was not something attainable. And anytime that we saw spirits in our house, my mom would just make up something like it was the Easter Bunny. I remember she told my sister it was the paper boy one time. And then when she got older, she was like, why would the paper boy be in our house? But like as a child, you know, our parents didn't tell us that they knew that there were spirits in the house. They just like made excuses for things that we saw. So we kind of shut it out. We didn't think it was real. We believed what our parents said. So I'll tell my child that they're psychic all day long. When did you learn of when did I learn of my abilities? So my entire life, it started when I was maybe 5 or 6 years old. And I would, to calm myself down, I would close my eyes and I would imagine blue energy being breathed in my nose. And I would imagine red energy leaving my body. And I did that a lot, where I would see things in color, or I used color to try to change my emotions, or I was visualizing energy a lot. I was the kid who collected rocks and went door to door selling rocks that I found in the yard. And by the time I was a teenager, I didn't realize these were abilities, but I created like a little seance kind of thing with, you know, I had a lot of incense and crystals and things. But I had some trauma when I was a child, and that stuff didn't really fly in the real world. You know, I was made to think that crystals and rocks didn't really have value, or that, you know, psychics and mediums really didn't show up in my life as someone that was valuable until I was an adult, until like my parents were older and friends, and they started to see psychics and mediums. And I felt so, fellow rock collector, and I felt so connected. Like there was this element of I was almost jealous of psychics. There was something I felt like I was longing towards. I would watch these shows, I would watch a lot of shows, and it's almost like I would be jealous. And I didn't realize that it was because I had the abilities, but I had pushed them away. Just pushed them and pushed them and pushed them because it didn't make sense. What I was feeling or thinking didn't correlate with the world. People would nothing was validated if outside of my head, So eventually I just took the path that seemed more normal for everyone. And it wasn't until, again, maybe when I was in my early 30s that my abilities started to come back. And I say like 31 or so, where it's not that they came back, it's just I was in a really I was in a lot of depressive relationships that I wasn't myself. Like, I didn't have crystals or incense or rocks or art or any of that in those relationships. I was very stunted of being who I wanted to be. I won't say I wasn't allowed to, but I felt very controlled in those relationships, and the things that I liked were made to seem that they were silly and funny, just kind of like when I was a child. So it wasn't until I ended that and started to focus on myself and meeting my twin flame, like I didn't realize it at the time, but he would, you get feathers all the time. That's awesome. I didn't realize it, but like he was bringing me crystals and he was bringing me salt rocks, and I had surgery and he like brought me this huge piece of big red aventurine, and I was like, oh my God, no one's ever given me rocks before. Like, and he's like, I just feel like this is you, and I've always wanted to get you rocks, but he was married and I'm not gonna just get you a random rock. So, because apparently it meant a lot to him. I mean, it meant a lot to me, but it wasn't until my awakening where I was able to dive back in and remember who I was, remember the child I was. So for example, like when I was 7, I was an athlete, and I would try to predict the scores of my games. And I would write the scores, my predictions of my games, I would write them in permanent marker on the bottom of my feet. And the reason I did that was because I didn't want to lose it. I wanted to make sure that I could go back and see if I was right. And I didn't want my family to see it. I didn't want them to be like, what's this? So I would like draw like a basketball and write the score of what I think it would be on the bottom of my foot. And then after the game, I would look at it and see how close I was or if I was right. So, I mean, I think it's a very childlike, intuition is very childlike, because when we're born, we are not born with fears. Fears are created by other people, by other people's traumas. It's projected on us. We learn it from videos, movies, whether we watched the movie Anaconda and now we're afraid of snakes. So, as a child, those start to pile up and pile up and pile up, and you start to really live life according to your fears, not your intuition. And it takes a perspective shift to do that. How would someone know what their abilities are? I feel like I have something, but unsure. So look, I mean, you have to get past the limited beliefs first. You have to get past the limited beliefs or the fears associated with it. Like, for example, like I'd hear a movement in my house and I would freak out. And I'm like, how can I be a medium if I'm freaking out thinking there's a ghost in my house? Well, spirit wasn't coming through that way. Spirit came through in a completely different way. And I was so focused on that fear. I was so focused on the way that I thought it was going to come through that I wasn't seeing how it was actually coming through. So I would say to just completely let go of any expectations and just start to pay more attention to your thoughts. For example, if you're just having a conversation with a person and you have a vision of something, or you feel like saying something, or you hear a word and then that person says it, confirm to yourself in that moment that that was an intuitive psychic interaction, because that's how it starts, is you start to recognize the small little times that it's occurring to where you focus on it more and more and more, and then you're like, that's it. I didn't recognize it before, but that's it. Okay? Let's see. Can you read my energy, please? I need this. If you guys would like readings, I'm doing $11 readings for $11.22. If you click the link in my bio, you'll be taken right to Snip Feed. I've done 8 readings or so today on here, so it should pop right up, and I'll do it live. I'll also record it and send it right back to your email. Okay? I even asked you about the football team, and you were right. Oh, yeah, so I remember SJ. Your son wanted to know... Your son wanted to know about a certain football game or football player, right? And I picked some cards, and yes. Okay, you guys know, has anyone heard recently in the news about Michael Joseph Vaughn's case? It was a little boy. He went missing, I think it was about a year ago, September. Year ago-ish, September-ish. And he went missing, and they recently have had a new breakthrough in the case. Okay, they are currently digging in the backyard of someone's yard. Okay, now a year and a half ago, when I first did this reading, I drew a map of where he was in someone's yard, and I drew landmarks and all of this stuff, but I just couldn't come up with the name of the street or whatever. I knew he was close. Now, they haven't found him, but they're currently digging in someone's backyard. This is about 4 minutes down the road. And the map that I drew, although it was very ambiguous, literally fits the neighborhood. So sometimes you're going to be getting messages that make no sense to you. They make no sense and you have no idea what they are. But you know what? I did give that map to the police, and I did do readings and sent them to the police about a year and a half ago. And it's really not until the facts come out that you can validate what you actually saw or the images or the messages that you got. So this is what I have to say. Trusting yourself is number one. Trust, 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 and deliver. Trust and deliver. And know that if you were given a message, it's there for a reason. I learned this on my very first encounter, seeing my friend's chest beaming in bright red. I had no idea what it meant. I wasn't getting any words. I just couldn't not tell her. It just kept, it was coming out of my mouth. And I had no idea why. So when you are in this situation and you feel like there's something you need to say, or you're getting an image of something, just say it. It doesn't matter if the person doesn't understand it in the moment. We're not all meant to, because we want to believe something and then maybe other information comes through and it doesn't match with what we thought, so we dismiss it. But it could be valuable down the road. So number one is trusting yourself with your own abilities. And is this an ability? Yes. Tell yourself it is. Okay? Because it most likely is. And it's all, the blocks come from generational trauma. I mean, we all know the Salem witch trials, right? I mean, people who had intuition and could predict things, especially if they were female, it was scary. And we are descendants of those people, and believe that generational trauma is real. It holds true. Fears from generations hold true. And the only way to break it is to understand where those fears are coming from. And to do that, you got to trace it back. So it may not be your parents. It may be your grandparents or your great-grandparents, that lived during war or lived during depression. And their fear came up during those moments in time, and then they were just passed down to you. And a lot of us now that are alive in this era of awakening, we're being awoken because we are meant to heal the generational trauma of our families. Because moving forward, we're going to need to live a completely different way. The world is not going to be the same. We are going to need to adapt in ways that maybe we never thought, that go against majority of society that's headed in one direction. And I just have to say, only you are going to receive those messages from you. And by getting more in tune with your thoughts and what's going on, and, even keeping a dream journal. That's how it started for me, everyone. My dreams were getting more vivid, and I was predicting things. I had predicted, me having a black and white cat. And I know that's weird. You're saying, well, can't you just go buy one after? Yeah, but I found a litter of 8 kittens, right down the street afterwards. And we ended up keeping one black and one white one. Not my choice, but it came through after. I've had visions of a friend's house from high school, and then I was looking for somebody in a field, and I didn't know who I was looking for. The next morning I woke up and come to find out there was a girl missing from my hometown, and she was found in the river behind this friend's house. So when I started to put the 2 and 2 together, that my dreams were in fact prophetic in some way, is that the word? That's when I was okay, there's more to this. But, I'm kind of afraid of my dreams because they're so vivid. Anybody else? Anybody else afraid of their vivid dreams? Because sometimes I do get a little afraid of how predicting they are or how vivid they are. But, fear-based, got to get rid of that. I'm sure I could go deeper into my abilities if I got rid of that fear. Sometimes I just want to fall asleep, pass out, and not dream. But yeah, you started to see ghosts or people in your dreams. Just imagine, know that's real. It's real. And self-talk is not something that, and I have a lot of clients that I coach regularly. And I have to say that one thing that they don't do because they're already afraid of being called a lunatic or afraid of being called crazy is self-talk. Like when a fear comes up and a fear is like, oh my gosh, this person got hurt, think the worst. There is this energy of letting that go, letting that programming just kind of escape. And that programming or that fear that we're so used to is what's keeping us in those cycles. So, gosh, I've yet to understand them, especially with deja vu. But yes, I can definitely. Deja vu, yeah, it started that way too. I think that's how I knew. So I'm sitting on my bed, okay? I'm sitting on my bed. This is before my husband and I got together. It was right around the time that we were both breaking up our marriage. He was getting divorced. I was splitting up with mine. And I didn't know he was getting divorced, okay? And it just happened to be around that time. And I sat there. And a couple days before, he had drawn me this tattoo that he wanted. And he said it reminded me of him. And he showed me the tattoo, and it said deja vu in these bubble graffiti letters. So a couple days went by, and I'm sitting in my room, and I'm doing work with crystals, and I was making wands and stuff. I don't know if I have my wand out right now, but I was making wands, and I'm listening to YouTube, and I hit random, and I say to myself out loud, who is my twin flame? Who is it? Who is the sacred person that I'm supposed to be with? Because up until this point, I had remember, we hadn't confessed our love to each other or anything like that. And I remember some guy pops up on YouTube, and I've never heard it before. And I was like, okay, maybe there's a message here. Because, when things are random like that, maybe he's supposed to say something. So I'm listening to him, and it's apparently this guy's perspective on twin flames and sacred relationships. So I'm listening. And then at the very end, he says, and you'll know your twin flame when you see them. And I'm like, but how? And he says, it's like deja vu. And as soon as he said that, I started to cry, and my ears got hot, and I was sweating, and I said, holy shit, it's Brian. That is my twin. And I knew it, but I didn't want to believe it, Okay, the card you pulled from me with the eye, that's from a very vivid dream. So you've had deja vu of me pulling the eye card for you, which is crazy. That's crazy. And that's exactly it. That is a predictive type of dream of seeing it before it happens. And maybe you just don't understand why you saw it in the first place. All right. Let's see if I can make it another 20 minutes here. Like I said, I'm getting hungry. I'm a little pregnant. And I'm so excited actually this time for this pregnancy because I'm doing a home birth. I'm doing a midwife and then a water birth. No hospitals for me this time. Oh my gosh, you have a little girl in the place that you moved to and she told your son to come find her. I think that we always need to be open to that stuff. And I think there's this fine line of us feeling like, oh my gosh, or is somebody medically ill or does somebody have any psychological issues or problems? Did you know that the United States is the highest in anything that has to do with diagnosing and having medications and what I found interesting, guys? The U.S. is one of the only countries in the world that has commercials for medicine. That has commercials for try this anxiety pill, try try this. Here's a lawsuit for this after this went out. You know, like where a lot of people from other countries tell me that they can't believe how many commercials we have that are aimed towards, you know, the industry of big pharma and things like that. So don't believe everything that you hear. What's your thoughts on portal doors? So energetically, I don't think a person's body leaves, okay? I feel like our mind and our reality can change instantly, but I don't think that we're living in a place where, like, you can't go to somebody and say, I'm in a different reality, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, it is in your own head. It's your perspective, your reality. That is, because the world is all a mirror. Think about, our eyes literally see things upside down. We take in images upside down. What does that even freaking mean? You know? Like, the world is not what we seem. I kind of tell people to do these portals, like when I say a portal, or if I say timeline jumping. Okay, so these are exercises you can do, and that all changes your perspective. And that's what it's doing, is changing your perspective. Where you can, before you go to bed at night, you imagine yourself waking up in a different timeline. Imagine yourself waking up in a timeline that is everything that you want. Whether you want a new relationship or a new place to live, you want your work to be a certain way. Imagine yourself waking up and having that. And that can definitely help you jump into timelines that are more profitable, timelines that are more healing, things like that. So there's a random door under our stairs, and that's where she is. I hear knocks all the time. Have you gone in there? Do you think the soul is in the heart or the brain? I don't think it's in anything. I think it is. I think it's everything. If that makes sense. Because our heart can stop and our brain can stop, but our soul doesn't stop. There's nothing that stops. Our soul is something that is always, it's energy, and energy can't be destroyed or created, and it's never gone. Okay. She needs a medium to check out that little girl. She is a medium. It's definitely an add-on. So I would talk to her. I would I don't know, see if she needs to cross over. This could be a lesson for you. She could be here to teach you how to communicate with spirits, or to teach you that you can. Because I know when people, I have a lot of, I'll call them my interns, okay? And I know it's easy to say I can do tarot. And then once you get the hang of it, you're like, oh, well, I get my visions too, and I hear things. So now I'm psychic. And then there's another step into mediumship, okay? And I feel like maybe you're being presented an opportunity to understand your mediumship abilities a little bit more, in how you receive messages from spirit. You talk to her all the time. Awesome. This could just be a way that you're getting in touch or in tune with how you communicate with spirit. It may also be eye-opening to you that your son has some abilities too. I think both do, but one of them is a little bit too, I think it would take him a little bit longer. I think the older one, I'm just seeing that he's got so much other shit on his mind. That's insane. You should try to find some information about her and see if you can, like, look it up and get some facts and stuff. That's cool. But yeah, you should see if you can somehow match some facts or get some facts or stuff from either the house or anything about her name or whatever the case may be. You never know, right? See who owned the house 17 years ago. I mean, if it was a rental, I guess you wouldn't know, but you never know. All right. So, I know there's about 20 of you in here. If anybody is looking to get their reading done before I'm done my live, go ahead and click the link in my bio and you'll get your reading done for $11. I will leave the special up until 2 p.m. So that means about another 2 hours and 15 minutes. And that means if you book within that time, I'll do the reading and everything will be sent back to you by the end of today. Tonight, probably when my kids go to sleep. I'm lucky enough that this little ones fall asleep between 7 and 8 o'clock. So that's usually after that time is when I can send the readings through. All right. So if you guys haven't done this already, I would love and appreciate your support for my Body Health Oracle deck. You guys saw me use it today. And it's not just for people looking to give medical scans. Like I said before, you can use this deck in 3 different ways. Okay. You can use it for something of the physical world. You can use the bottom word, which has to do with the function of the organ in collaboration with other cards, okay? Or you can just use the divine message that is also related to the function of the body, but is related to the real life 3D kind of issues that we go through every day. So if you guys are not following that, I would love the support just by following it, just by sharing it. So far the deck has 66 cards. But during the Kickstarter, if we can surpass our goal of $3,300, then I will, you'll see I have like some stretch goals in there where I'll be adding more cards. So if we meet all the 3 levels of stretch goals, it will be a 78 card deck. Okay, so do you think the energy or soul can transfer to people through objects or organs? I don't know if a whole soul can transfer, but energy from a soul, displaced energy, yes, 100%, which is why I tell people that if you have objects or things in your house that maybe you're holding on to for other reasons, or maybe it was just in the family and so-and-so is going to be mad if you don't do something with it, or that you don't display it, or if you sell it, get rid of those things, those objects from other people and places that you don't know. Things from like Goodwill, like a picture, it may hold negative energy. It may hold the energy or the emotions of another individual. And it could be due to a close bond with it. It could be due to some negative feelings as well. I do feel like, so what's coming through is organ. And I do feel like when, say somebody else has another person's organ and they have passed away, I do feel like they would have a special connection with that soul to the point where they can communicate with that soul in a very easy way, or they might even get flashbacks of that person's memories or visions because there is so much energy in that organ and they can't go anywhere. Okay, that's truly what I believe. So I haven't experienced it, or I haven't had anybody tell me about it, but that's just kind of what's coming through. And, you know, we don't ever really know what's right about anything. So I'm not going to tell you you're wrong if you believe that a whole soul could be transferred. You know, I don't know if someone would ever wake up and be a different soul from surgery. I don't know if that's possible. I'm not going to say it's not possible. I don't believe a whole soul, but I believe parts of one, because what happens after is, you know, you'll call a soul in or an energy in as a medium, and they come to you. Most of them, majority of them do. So, yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to see or talk to somebody that had that type of experience, though, that had a transfer of an organ and felt that they could feel that person around them or inside them, or if they knew things about that person. I would believe it. Definitely. 100%. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for being here with me today. I don't know. So cool. I had a heart transplant and I don't know who my donor is, and I think he messes with me. Well, you know, like, I would write things down. I would just write things down. You know, I don't know if maybe messing with you is like a way of getting your attention for another reason. Maybe you're missing the signs. Maybe there's something specific there, you know? But I do want to thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you for, all the likes, SJ and Brandy, some of my mods. Thanks for being here. Like I said, I'm pregnant, so, I get so tired late at night. So tired. But, and then at 3 in the morning, I can't sleep. So, that's why I've been coming on a little bit early. And I haven't caught a lot of you, but I've caught the people that I needed to. So I'm so happy that I got to connect with you today. If you were here during my live, jumping in and out, maybe you never said anything and you've just been watching, thank you. I appreciate you. You know who you are. And I'm going to try to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 23rd. It's the day before my Kickstarter launch. And I will even be live on Thanksgiving throughout the day. So if you're not doing anything, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving just because, I don't know, I celebrate eating and having fun and being thankful for my family every day. And I am not a believer at all of traditional holidays, as I think a lot of them are based in non-truths. So we're not going to be doing Thanksgiving, but I will be live because that's the Kickstart day of my Kickstarter. Now, I do want to tell you guys something. If you are interested in getting the Body Health Oracle deck, the training deck, and the guidebook, I do have an early bird special where you get $25 off those 2 decks, and that is only for the first week of my Kickstarter. It's available. So it's an early bird special. And if you are looking to get the deck and you say, oh my gosh, could really use the $25 off, then all you have to do is support early in the first week and you'll get that deck. You'll get both decks for the discounted price. And then, Kickstarter does not, it's not going to charge you unless the entire project gets funded. Okay. So just letting you guys know that too, if you go to purchase or pre-order a deck on there, share. That way, the project goes through and everybody gets their goodies and, everybody gets to use the deck. So, that's all I can hope for is to create a tool for you to make your readings more accurate and more confident, because I'm always brought back to the time where before we had doctors and before modern medicine became a thing, men were the first obstetricians, believe it or not, men were. And then it was until late 1800s when a male obstetrician deemed pregnancy barbaric unless it was done in hospitals. So, all of that stuff with medicine and medical, I believe it can give you proof, and we've made it so that societally, as a society, we believe that more, and if we go against it, somehow against the law, I believe before we had doctors, all we had was each other and our own intuition. And that's where I'm hoping to take us back to, as a place where we trust ourselves and we're not afraid to be like, I know you just walked in my house, but I'm getting something to do with your gallbladder. Have you had any pain there lately? And I want them to say, yeah, how did you know? And they're going to say, well, I just got this feeling, so maybe you need to get it checked out. And it saves that person's life. And I want people to be confident enough to say that. Because, if the person wasn't feeling anything, then all you would say is maybe you need to look out for it. Maybe it's something that I needed to tell you, but I don't know why it came through. So believe in your thoughts, believe in your intuition, believe in your visions, believe the messages that you get are for a reason. And you will have a very happy and successful life because your intuition is going to make it easier for you. Believe it. All right. Thank you so much for being here today, guys. I love and appreciate you. And I hope to see a lot of you guys on my Kickstarter. Thanks for the hearts. Bye, guys. I love you so much. I'll be here tomorrow, okay? Bye, guys. I know some of you are going to say bye. I'll just wait last minute. And thanks for those who booked today. Thank you so much. I'll be on Sanctuary, the Sanctuary app later if you want to check that out. Go ahead and upload Sanctuary app through the Play Store. Put in your birthday, and then the magic happens right after that, okay? Thanks, guys. Love you so much.